Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video here on the It's Cabo channel, and one that's been requested a lot. I know I say that quite often, but this one really has been requested. It's a series I did for a little bit last year. I kind of started it towards the end of FIFA, but people really loved it, so it's coming back this year. It's FUT Champs highlights, but it's not just FUT Champs highlights, okay? Every week, we try out a different pros tactic so that you don't have to and find out if they really work for the common man, the average FIFA player. And I'd say that's me. I'm like Div 4. I finished gold in FUT Champs last year, like low gold. I'd say I'm a pretty average player. I represent the people, you know. I will tell you if these tactics are good, if you should try them for yourselves, and I'll rate all of them. And by the end of the year, hopefully we'll have a little bit of a leaderboard. But yeah, you've seen by the title, we are going to be doing Tex's tactics in this video. F2DH Tex, whatever you want to call him. Really big fan of him. I really like what he does. He plays attractive FIFA, you know. He plays the right way, similar to #Harry. He can do a skill. He does a lot of nice interplay, you know. He plays FIFA the right way. So we're going to be going into his tactics, and we're going to see if they get us wins in FUT Champs. Right, so of course, before we do any of this, you guys need to see our team, and it's a little bit different to the 10k team. I've changed a lot of players round. You guys might have seen this if you were in my stream on Monday night. It's changed quite a bit. Our only survivors are Talisca and Paulinho. Okay, so Bunal starts in goal. I had him untradeable, and he fitted quite well with Diego Carlos, because I needed a right mid and a centre-back who were both in the same league and both were Brazilian for this to work, really, because I wasn't a fan of many of the Brazilian right-backs. But yeah, we've got them. We've got Rodrigo, Carlos, Montiel coming in. You've seen Haaland already, and then of course we've got Chan and Diaby, Akanji and Scholes, and the deadly duo that is Talisca and Paulinho. But we're going into the tactics now. He plays, you can see me changing the width and depth here, on 60 depth. You'll see how that works throughout the video. You see how that ends up going for me. It's mixed reviews for that. Okay, you can see when it's good, you can see when it's bad. He doesn't have many players in the box, so I'm going to go with that. I personally like having players in the box. I tell all my players to get in the box, especially Talisca with his headers. He plays a 4-2-3-1, which is the same as me, which is the main reason I thought he'd be a good one to start with. So these are what you've got to do with the players. So, of course, I think we're going to work from the front back. Starting with Erling Haaland, you don't really do too much on him. You basically just tell him to stay forward. These ones, you get your cams left and right to come back on defence, which I didn't do, and I didn't really notice much of a change there, to be honest, from my own tactics. Talisca stays forward, though. Montiel and Scholes, they're not really hard to do at all. And then you have both your CDMs to step out our attacking cover centre, which is quite normal. I had only one of them on that before. I was using Paulinho to drive forward. So that's what I was doing with there. You can see I'm just comparing it to my own tactics here. I play on 40 depth and a bit different. So I did change my own tactics a little bit just to see what they were like. But of course, I'll let you know when that happens. So they're the tactics. Of course, Tex's video is going to be down below. But I think it's time we get into my first FUT Champs of FIFA 22 and you find out how I did. Right, so our first game of FUT Champs on FIFA 22 for the whole of FIFA 22 was against quite a decent side, I'd say. You had St. Max in there, Diaby, of course. I have Dembele, who you know I'm a big fan of if you watch my Rate My Teams videos. He was in a few of the teams yesterday. But yeah, it was a pretty decent team. I'd say it was better than mine. He had the best of the early exchanges here, and it was that man who's haunted us for years, Ben Yedder, that was kind of putting like the danger in. I had a few little pot shots in this one. It wasn't the clearest cut game. It wasn't the easiest game to win or lose, really. But you can see here, Haaland, he did that little step, right, and it sent the defender, and that is something I did a lot over this weekend. I don't know why, but it seems to work a lot. I had basically no chance there, and I literally make something out of nothing by pressing R2. It's a bit mad, R1 even. But then he scored a dumb goal, I mean. He had a few decent chances that probably deserved a goal, and then out of everything, he scores from that, and that needs fixing, because it's happened to me in Royals before. It happens quite a bit. But you can see here, Talisca wins it, and I score a dumb goal as well. So it was a dumb goal each there, really. And it reminds me of FIFA 21 a lot of that kind of gameplay. It's still early in the year. There's still going to be patches, of course, and hopefully they come soon. But that was a little bit underwhelming. Talisca, the GOAT there, of course, getting us a third goal, and we did win that game quite easily in the end. It was close until the end, but then we just pulled away, and I think it was a deserved victory. But I saw even in that first game, there's a few things that need changing already, and hopefully they do fix them. It's our first taste for the Quara in this game, which was going to happen a lot. Having a look at this team, we've got Goretzka in there as well. Two players you don't see too much in Sancho and Trent, and just a few others. But yeah, I just thought I'd keep this free kick in because, I mean, this needs fixing. That's the only reason I kept it in. That desperately needs fixing. It moves where the ball is. This wasn't the best shot. I thought I'd keep it in, but I did that a lot over the weekend. I like shooting from free kicks, and it kind of confuses players, you know, when you put a load of players around it, but it doesn't really work anymore. But yeah, you see I had a few little shots there. Diego Carlos rising highest, and he did that a lot. He wins a lot of headers. He doesn't always score. Of course, keepers are a bit mad, but he does do quite well. I didn't know what was going on there with Talisca. It just kind of happens as it is. But you can see this happened in the last game quite a lot too. Playing in Haaland with Talisca. This time we decided to give it back, and Talisca got yet another goal. He's just so good. He makes all them forward runs. That was literally right before half time as well. But he's just absolutely mad. His long shots, his flair, his everything. He's still my favourite player in the entire game. He's going to be for a while. As I said, Diego Carlos goes up for a lot of headers. You see it there. Akanji, by the way, he hit that so well. It's a shame there was a player in the way, because that would have been goal of the year, goal of the century, whatever. It would have been a pretty amazing goal. That's what I'm trying to say. But Diaby did play a part as well. We haven't seen too much of him yet. He made a lot of good driving runs. He won a lot of corners. He put in a few good crosses every now and again. Obviously, I'm mainly focusing on the goals here, but he was a pretty good player for me as well. And I don't know what his goalkeeper was doing here. Paulinho, give him free roam of the penalty area, and we won that game pretty easily in the end. But yeah, it was a deserved win. It probably should have been more than 2-0, but I'm just wondering why his keeper did what he did. I don't really know why he didn't catch that, but that put us 2-0, which was a really good start. I wasn't sure how this weekend was going to be, obviously having not played it before. You can see a few more wins coming up there. It will remind you at the bottom, as it is there, what kind of form we're on at the moment, what our wins and losses are. But you see we're 4-0 playing against Garrincha now. But as I was saying, yeah, I wasn't sure how this was going to pan out, because people had to qualify through that new thing, and it was quite hard by the looks of it. It looked quite difficult to qualify, so I was wondering if there was going to be like a higher kind of skill gap in there, but there was still a lot of players that were a bit stinky. You can see here, this guy, he ended up offside a lot. It already happened once there. He hit the post twice, and this is where the 60 depth was effective, I'd say, because he was caught offside a lot, and on 50 depth he probably wouldn't have been offside. You see, we get a penalty there. There was against the run of play, in my opinion, and also maybe not a penalty, but we did score it. We were quite lucky to score it, actually, because he went the right way. That was a very, very lucky goal. But you can see there the 60 depth. We saw it earlier on, and then you can see why it doesn't work here, because sometimes they just get behind, and honestly, it's something that I would change. I like a lot of the tactics used here, but I would have played on a bit of a lower depth, and it's just something that I don't advocate playing on one depth, right, but I think against the kind of teams you need to change your depth, and this guy was literally, you can see it here again, his method was just run to the byline, stick it across the box, and if that is what you're playing against, then maybe go on a little bit less depth. But you can see there, I moved to keeper too early. He absolutely mugged me at the start of extra time. We were in this game, but then his kind of better team just shone through. He just played some through balls and was in straight away. I maybe should have kept Bruno on the line a bit more, but you never know, do you? I bought on Quincy Promise, and he did get one back, but unfortunately there just wasn't enough time. You see, we had a chance here in 120. If we cut it back and no one was there, I've already spoiled the result. But yeah, that was our first loss, and it was a bit of an annoying one to take. I'd say the guy was better than me, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you know, oh, maybe I could have scraped a win there, and that was definitely one of them games, especially when you look at his goals, they were literally all the same thing. But then we just lagged out. We were 3-2 down, but playing very, very well. I had the measure of this guy. He got 2-0 up early because he was using Morientes and just playing long balls to him, but I got the measure of that. I started countering that, and he didn't manage to counter what I was doing. I'd pulled 2 back. I was just playing better than him, and it gave me another loss for that, which is really annoying. But we bounced back with a win, and then another loss, 5-2, which was a bit stinky. There were games, a few times, where I did just get smashed. I don't know if they were just better than me, or it's just the way that this team works, that if you go behind and you have to chase the game, it really doesn't go well. But you can see a few more losses coming in there, and some heavy ones too. Even a 6-4 halfway through. And then we came up against another good team, a lot of Real players, a few Man United ones in there as well, St. Max, a lot. But yeah, I've picked out some games where there's a lot of goals, and it shows the team quite well, and it shows the tactics quite well. You can see a little bit of skill there, but then we got a lucky goal at the end of it. And I think this game, this is one that just highlights the vulnerabilities that you do sometimes get in this team. You can see some play from him here, literally right from kickoff, and I don't actually know what I was doing now. I just got my players all in a bit of a mess. Montiel ended up running the wrong way. I had to pull Carlos out of position. Just went really badly. That's something that I can work on now, and something that I can probably fix. You can see Haaland there comes quite close. I thought that was in. It does go in quite often when you do something like that. And we did have chances. Rodrigo here, I don't know why he didn't head that, but you can see it comes back and he's offside. But that is all coming from there's another broken goal here. That's all coming from the get players into the box thing that he had on there. And you can see he just scores a few more cutbacks there, and that was my main vulnerability. Playing on that high depth, I think sometimes I didn't get back as well as they were meant to. And then we had a game that went to penalties. I thought I'd show the penalty shootout, but this game, it ended 1-1. It wasn't the most entertaining. I would have done a full game, but it was a bit boring, to be honest with you. He scored his goal with Pedro, I'm pretty sure. It was like another bouncing, scrappy kind of goal. But here's the penalty shootout, because I thought it's interesting to see. And he just got a bit lucky. That is how penalty shootouts work. It's just luck of the draw, really. He got lucky saving that one. We made a few decent efforts. This guy really liked going left. Normally I'll step one way and go the other, but I stepped one way and went the same way there, and it didn't work out for me well at all. But there you go. I have a lot of players that can't really take a good penalty. I don't really have many that have high penalty accuracy when he did, which was a bit of a minus point to me. But we made a good save there, and with 2 left, we were drawing. Okay, Paulinho takes one here, and that was what really cost me, having players that can't take penalties. They're the ones we needed to go in. Of course, he goes left as well, but he did miss. He gave us another lifeline, and we took one with Montiel, smashed it, and we were a little bit lucky there because it didn't go where I planned, but it did go in anyway, so that's the main thing. And then, of course, he gets it with Vinny Jr. Guess where he goes? He goes right in the corner. I finally went left because that's where he kept going, and he changed up. Fair play to him. Little bit of nerve there, but there. One with Chan. He saves a green timed one in the top corner, which is absolutely unbelievable, and fair play to him. It's like the best save you can make. Then Valverde puts it away. I moved really late there. I could have actually stayed in the middle of my reactions for a bit better, but that meant we were 6-6, and we'd gone from being 4-0, we were really good, to 6-6, which wouldn't even get us rank 2, and rank 2 is what I wanted. I would have been happy with rank 3 because the rewards are good, but I wouldn't have minded rank 2. I just thought I'd leave that goal in because it is literally the best one we scored all weekend, just for how satisfying it was. I really like that. But I want to show the pros of this team as well. You know, we were all over this guy early on, as you can see here. We did end up having a chance with pace and pound right here, and I didn't react to it. I thought it was offside. He looked offside to me, and you can just see the 60 depth thing there. It causes issues, especially when you don't have the best players in the world. I know Carlos has got decent pace, so has Akanji, but they're not on the same level as some of the ones like the Croix that he might be using. So you can see why it costs there. And that was just stupid, okay? That was very, very stupid. He ended up scoring from it, but Carlos just let him have the ball. I was confident I'd won that back. But yeah, we did get level, luckily, through Haaland, because this would have been one that really, really frustrated me if we lost it, because we were all over him, literally all the way through the game. And then in extra time, Haaland gave us a lead as well. He does that so much. He scores in that goal so much. Literally, you can see here, he just drives forward and then smashes it in the corner, chips, whatever. He's just really good at that, and holding people off is pretty OP. So you can see we did manage to get ourselves back to winning ways there, which was good. And it was kind of an up and down thing from here. There are a few games that I lost that I feel like I could have won, a few that we got away with as well at times. It was just a lot of tight games and a lot of fine margins. I think maybe with different tactics could have been a bit different, and you can see we were just kind of staying level. We ended up 8-8, which meant we had 4 games left, right, and we needed to win all 4 if we wanted to get rank 2. We had rank 3 at least secured, which isn't the worst in the world, but we had to win all 4 games. And see, we started well there with a save, staying in the game. I went behind a lot, and then they just kind of capitalised on that. So my main thing was I had to get in front first, and we did it here with a brilliant Haaland goal. What a player he is, by the way. I can't believe he's 23k. And then, of course, he had a few chances as well. He got level, and that was a vulnerability for me. The amount of times I think I moved the keeper the wrong way or something like that, we called him out, I really got punished for it. That shouldn't have gone in. There's no way that should ever have gone in. But we did kind of pull away in this one, luckily. And just, it was comfortable in the end. He was in the game for a long period of time, you can see by the scoreline, but we ended up getting away with it. We got a few lucky deflections and stuff like that, and we did manage to get ourselves a comfy win in the end. You can see Rodrigo, I was impressed with him actually. I thought he wouldn't be as good as he was, and he actually was semi-decent, and he just moved out of the way really early there, and really tried to preempt it, and we did get ourselves a win. So there was a really small outside chance of us getting there, of us making it to rank 2, and we followed it up with a 5-1 win, which is pretty sick as well, but then we lost 6-1, and I really don't want to show that. It's a bit of an abrupt end, I know, but I don't want to show the losing 6-1 here. He literally spammed through balls, and the depth absolutely stunk me. Of course, we gave a free win to end off this week. I know I'm going to go into more detail on everything that happened, but yeah, I really feel like if I did a different tactics or I just got a bit luckier, I could have got the 12 wins. I think for me, it's just going to depend on the week and how I'm playing, whether I get those 12 wins or not. But, you know, maybe when I get more into the game, maybe if I get some better players, because most teams were better than mine, I'd say, then I'll be good, you know. And there was one where I lost on penalties, one where I could have won where I DC'd, the ones where I lost by 1 goal, I made a mistake. There's a lot of things in there that I could have changed and easily got them 12 wins. And you don't know, I could have won that last game as well. So really, we were only 1 game away from doing that. Our record to end our first week of FUT Champs is 10-9, okay? So when we make a table, we'll say what we think of them for their style, their funness, how well I played them, but also count the record as part of it as well, okay? So if I had to give this tactics a few ratings, I think for Tex, it was kind of disappointing how defensive it was, because I know he's a really flair player. He's a really good player at the game and using skills and playing attractive football. So I think we'll do ratings out of 5. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 for its attacking intensity. I wasn't really a fan of that. For its defensive solidness, I'm only going to give it a 2 as well, because I think it left us really exposed, the back. So attacking and defensively, it wasn't overall that good. And also, it didn't really give you too many options if it wasn't working for you. He had a thing where he changed to 4-2-2 and then he bought on like Neymar and Mbappe, but I didn't have the right players to do that. That maybe would have helped a little bit, but it seemed even more attacking and would have conceded even more goals. So I think it's not really one where you can change too much. I did like #Harry and Crassi last year, they offered a lot of alternatives. They offered like defensive and an attacking alternative to the balanced one, but there was only one there and I couldn't really use it. So like, if it's not working, you can't really change your game plan. You can make subs and that could work, but there's not really too much you can adapt. So it wouldn't be a 1, but it's going to be 2s across the board for that. 3 2 out of 5s for him, so that's just 6 out of 15. But it's early days. Obviously, there's going to be more tactics videos. There's going to be improvements throughout the year when people learn the game better. Of course, let me know what other pros you want to see. I know a lot of them haven't released tactics yet, but we've got likes of Boras, we've got likes of Grilla, we've got a few we can get through. Even if they're a small YouTuber, let me know, because I'm going to be doing these every week. If you want to see me qualifying, I might be doing that on stream again this week, which will be great. If you want to see my rewards, they're out on the channel right now. I'll leave a link to the Clips channel where there's like an edited version of that as well. But thanks for watching this one, guys. I really appreciate the support, and hopefully I'll see you all soon for another video. All that Antonio's coming again soon. Goodbye.